¿Qué tal, amiguitos? Bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de Rock Invasion Entrevistas. Hoy nos visitan los austriacos Roadwolf, un grupo que sacó su primer trabajo el año pasado, en el mes de noviembre, un disco llamado Unchain the Wolf, que además se coló en la lista de menciones de honor del programa, amén de muchas otras listas de lo mejor de 2020. Tengo muchísima curiosidad por saber qué nos van a contar y también por profundizar un poquito más en la escena heavy metal de su país, de Austria, puesto que estoy mucho más familiarizada con la escena del metal extremo. Así que sin más, vamos a hablar con Roadwolf y espero que disfrutéis de este episodio. Hi guys, how are you doing? It's a pleasure having you here today.
Hi, great. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Very good,
How
thanks.
are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to have you guys because, as I said in the intro in Spanish, unfortunately, you couldn't understand a word. I said that you guys were on my top 2020 list with your first album, a really interesting album. So I'm really looking forward to hear you guys talk about the album, talk about the heavy metal scene in Austria. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this conversation. You guys were formed in Wiener Neustadt, but I don't exactly know the year, because I know that you guys started as Roadwolf in 2011, but you guys had already been playing before with another name. Is that right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Exactly. Especially us two. So me and Aigy, we were playing before for several years, but the goals were not the same. You know, when we choose to call the band Roadwolf, it was kind of forming in something more concrete. Yeah.
So yeah, we went to school together, and we always had interest in playing rock music and playing an instrument. And I think this just progressed naturally. And of course, we had some gigs with our first band, or with the band with the old name and different members. And then in 2011, we switched some members, and then we switched the name, and then we had the release from our first EP, which was called Raw Cuts. So this was you could say this was the real starting point of Roadwolf. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think you released several demos, and you won the Wacken Metal Battle, right? This is something that
Yes.
probably in Austria is already known, but here in Spain I haven't read much about that. What can you tell me about that Wacken Metal Battle?
Yeah, there's the big Wacken Metal Battle means that there is a contest in every city, every country that's precipitating, and we were one of the bands. So in fact, the contest went on when we went to Wacken. So we won the contest in Austria. We won it 2 times, but the first time we couldn't go. They had somebody else that they had to need to send there. I don't know. But we won the contest in Austria, and then the contest was not over, because all the countries have to perform in Wacken too, against each other. So you have like 30 bands that compete at Wacken to who is the final winner. But when we arrived there, it was really cool, because the sentiment was not like that. It was not like a competition, and everybody, all the bands that went there, everybody felt they were winners already. You know, they already won because they could go there. So there was not a big competition there. It was just a big family, and it was really great to play there. It was also the biggest show we ever played, in front of the biggest audience, and it was really eye-opening for us. I think it was one of the points in being in this band where we saw what potential it had, and that it worked on a big stage. And even maybe with us not being that professional back then, as maybe we learned something since then. But even then, we saw it had potential. It works out. It works in front of 5,000 people, and that really gave us a little kick,
And of course, it was for all of us a rock star moment, getting on the big stage, getting all the treatment, and being backstage, meeting other bands like Saxon. So it really was one of those heavy metal moments that you, as a band, you always thrive to experience such a moment.
Yeah, it was extremely different to the other gigs we played because we have always been a live band. We played a lot of shows, even back then, before we called ourselves Roadwolf. We played a lot of shows, but it was always club gigs, little gigs, small clubs. You have a little cramped backstage room, and everybody tries to be nice, but they can't really afford to give you more than maybe 2 beers or something. But it's okay. And coming from these shows where you have maybe 100 or 200 people to a big festival where there are 5,000 people waiting for you, it's really crazy. Yes, really cool. I hope we can go back there. I mean, yeah, let's see.
Of course, that's a goal on our list.
Yeah, I hope so too. You guys have been through some lineup changes because Frankie is, well, not the new singer because he's in the band, I think, since 2016. But before him, you were the singer, Aigy, right?
That's true. I've been the singer since the beginning, since we started doing a band, and we always had some lineup changes. I think this is already Mark 6 or something if you're talking in purple terms here. At first I played guitar, then I was just singing, then I played the bass. But I really found with the bass, I really found the instrument that I enjoyed the most. That's one part. And also, I was with Frankie in another band before he joined Roadwolf, and he was also the singer there. So I knew him quite well, and I knew that he is and was very capable of singing. I think he's one of the best heavy metal singers in Austria currently, and I think you can really say that. I think that is. Pretty much very much the case, and so we were all glad that he joined the band, because I think he really brought us to the next level musically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the chemistry was very good from the beginning. So of course, because I knew him, we knew him already, so it really worked out great, I think.
I mean, we even used his rehearsal room, so...
Oh yeah, that was another reason.
Maybe that was another reason.
Yeah, that's a big plus.
Yeah, I mean, he could sing, he had a rehearsal room, so what can go wrong?
Yeah, you're
the
hired.
guy had everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was not so... I mean, it took a year, maybe, of talking to him and getting the tracks there to have it happen in the end. It was not a fixed thing from the beginning when we first talked about it.
Yeah, definitely not, because his experience with the last band I was also a part of wasn't that great in the end. So I think he was really thinking about quitting the job, quitting being a singer. But it turned out so well, because now we can honestly say that he really loves it and he enjoys it when we're on stage and we're in studio. So yeah, it was really a natural fit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I also think that the great thing about the lineup now is that nobody does something he's not really comfortable doing or is not good at. I think everybody does the thing that he can do best, and not maybe 2 or 3 things at once. And also we have the benefit of really loving the same kind of music. We really have the same musical background, and Frankie, when he came to the band, is the same. He always wanted to be in a classic heavy metal band, and he told it to us so many times. You know, he said so many times that he just wanted to be a classic heavy metal singer. And now it's his dream come true, you know, and for us too, I think it's great, and we don't have to talk about or you know, fuss around about, oh, I like more this style of music and more this style and more this style. We know what we want to do. It's straight classic heavy metal, and we're on the same page now, you know, everybody of us, and that also was a big change for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then back in November, you guys released your first album, Unchain the Wolf, with 10 songs. I would say 200% heavy metal, or even, okay, I don't want to sound cliche, but I would say 666% heavy metal. Just,
oh yeah,
just like that. A really interesting album with great tunes. As you guys say in German, I got a real Ohrwurm with some of the songs. Like, I couldn't get the songs out of my head. Some of them are still like, I wake up in the morning, it's like, Unchain the Wolf. Nah, 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 nah. So yeah, a real interesting album. And like I said, it made it to the top 2020 of the show. And how do you feel about the album 7 months later?
Oh, that's interesting. I think it ages really well. I mean, it's not really old now, but I think it's an album that ages really well. And even for us, I mean, we heard the album maybe 1 or 2 years before it came out. We heard it all the time, and we heard every step of the recordings, and we heard all the pre-mixes and masters and everything. I mean, we're listening to this album for 2 years in a row all the time, you know, and it still doesn't get old, you know. It doesn't get on my nerves, but like a lot of other albums that are great, it can get on your nerves after 2 years, you know. You don't want to listen to it, but it's not the case with this album, and I think it ages really well, and I think we're still very proud of it, what came of it, because it was really a lot of work, and there were a lot of delays also, so there was a lot of fear of, man, can we put it out when we want to put it out. Then we had the final date of the release date, and then the coronavirus came along, and we knew, oh fuck, we chose the best year, and, you know, we waited so long, and then we chose 2020 for releasing, you know. So I was like, oh my god, but it turned out really well, and I think it ages really well, and the reason for that is, I think, what you said before, that the songs are, it's not just tracks on the album, it's distinctive songs that have each song has its own little movie going on, you know, and they are quite distinctive from another, so you always know exactly where on the album you are. It's not repetitive, I think, and that makes it age so well, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what can you tell me about the songwriting process? Because I know that some of the songs are a little bit older, but there are new songs too. So what can you tell me about that songwriting process, and how did you choose which of the older songs were going to be in the album?
Well, I think that the album is a long time coming for us, because we had a lot of material going on, and some material was written in, let's say, Mark II, and then some material was written in Mark III when Valentine joined the band, for example. So I think that we took the best songs, and also we had a great producer who helped us, I think, choosing the right songs and choosing the right thing that is needed for that song to work. And I think it really shows that we took a long time, but on the other hand, you have like 5 years of band history compressed into this one album, and I think that that this makes it so special, and this makes it also, I think, not very repetitive, and you can listen to it over and over again because it has that distinction, I think.
Yeah, I think what we really didn't want to do, and we still don't want to do in the future, is like have a maybe you like a band and you like a song of that band and you like a riff of that song, and you take that riff and you make a whole album out of it. And this is what a lot of bands are doing right now. I think even the bigger bands are doing it, and that's something we don't really like because it's repetitive, yes, and it gets boring, and that's something we didn't want to do. We just wanted to do an album that maybe stands the test of time, like the albums that we really love, like Holy Diver from Dio, and maybe one or the another album of Judas Priest. These are bands that could do that, they could make an album that's so great to hear after 30 years or 40 years, And I don't know, we have to see what people say in maybe 30 years about this album, but or what we ourselves have to say about it. But that's what was the goal. Yeah, that was our goal. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and you guys, well, you have already said that you didn't choose exactly the best year to release the first album because of the pandemic, but yeah. How are you guys dealing with everything? Because you have to promote a new album and we're in the middle of a pandemic with no live shows. But you've shot, I think, 3 videos. Is that right? 2 or 3 videos for the album. Yes, I think.
How many did we shoot?
Shoot. We didn't shoot that much. We released 3 videos. One video was a lyric video.
Exactly.
Then we shot a video last year in September. This was the video for Unchain the Wolf. And 2 or 3 months ago, we released the video for Roadwolf, which is historic live material from the band's history. Yeah. Which is also, I think, a very, very, very nice music video. But yeah, we shot the Unchain the Wolf video last year in September, where the pandemic situation was a bit better in Austria, so we had the opportunity to shoot that. But then when we released it, of course, in November, it was full on again. So the pandemic was full on again. But I think we got a lot of positive reactions from social media, from magazines. So in the end, of course, we couldn't promote the album, but all that feedback and all that communication and also YouTube channels that promoted our videos, like the New Wave of Traditional Heavy Metal channel from South America, and all that stuff was going on. So that really gave us a lot of positive energy, I think, and also did something for us. So it didn't felt that bad. I think for me personally speaking, it felt quite good to release that album finally last year.
We also did the music video before that. We did the music video for All Hell Is Breaking Loose.
Oh yeah, that was so long ago that I forgot about that.
That is the 3rd video. Yeah, we have. That's the 3rd video. Yeah, you were exactly right. We had 3 videos and 1 lyric video. We forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I was thinking. There were 3, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
It took such a long time, But this was a fun video to make. Yeah, we did it in our rehearsing space, and right before we refurnished the place. But I felt it was like something. It was maybe at first I felt it was bad for us that we released the album right in the pandemic. I was really on the ground, I was like, oh no, oh fuck, it will crash. We cannot tour, we cannot promote the album live because we were so focused and so into live playing. We were like, let's get the album out, and now we play live even more, and we do tours and whatever. And not being able to do that gave us a good opportunity, I think, to focus on all the organization behind the scenes, making music videos, planning ahead, maybe writing to magazines and getting interviews done, making photos, making all this stuff that you have to do as a band that we never did because we only played live. And maybe did a demo there or there, we were focused on playing live all the time. We didn't care about releasing an album or having nice photos or something. It was just live. And having that shut down for us, it was really, I think, a good experience for us because finally we had the time to do all the things that everybody else is also doing, and we could really build up the band to a level of publicity internationally also that would not have been possible if we carried on like we did it before, because we would just carry on playing live, don't care about nothing, Maybe nobody ever would have heard the album, I don't know. But we had the time, with the time on our hands, and I think it came out great, and it really did us well. Did us good. I think all the promotion and everything. I think maybe it even helped us a little bit, because when the album came out, there was a lot of releases pending from other bands also, but a lot of those bands, they decided to delay their albums for February, March, or April or May, the next from this year. And so we were pretty much alone, in December. There was maybe 2 or 3 other bands that released their albums that are in our genre, but I don't know. It was everybody was waiting for new music, and we could deliver it, because we had it already. and we also thought about delaying it again, but we said no, we don't want to delay it again. It's not funny anymore, We don't want to delay anything anymore, and just put it out there. And the worst possible situation, I think, really benefited us in a way.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the album was released in November, and I always say that when the albums get released like pretty early, like in January or in November, December, wow, if the album is good when you go to the top lists, and okay, for example, I can think of an album from last year, I don't know, for example, Butcher or Hellas. They released great albums, and people were still thinking about the album in December. But when you guys release an album in November or in December and you make it to the list, that is even harder, because there's not so much time to process that release and to understand the music. And when you guys are already in the top 2020, I think that means something. That means something, at least for me. So
yeah.
So congratulations on that.
I think we made several top 10 lists of 2020, even but it only took us 3 weeks or something. It was really crazy, yes. And it took us 1 or 2 months or 2 months to be in the top 3 of Rock Hard magazine, readers poll, and something like that, and to be in all the magazines, that we were reading we were buying as metalheads, we were in every magazine. I don't know how it happened, it just went crazy.
Yeah, I think that everything went like pretty quick, because I remember, seeing the album getting released, and like the following week, it was pretty much all over Facebook. A lot of friends of mine were talking about the album, like, you have to listen to this. This is pure heavy metal, blah blah blah. But it happened like, like so quick. I was totally surprised, and of course happy for you guys.
Yeah,
we were also surprised. I would say.
Pleasantly surprised, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It still pushes us, and we still read all the comments, and we scroll on YouTube, we scroll down on all the songs and all the videos of us, and we scroll down and search for new comments because we're so happy about people writing us, and we try to write back everybody, and yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I think there were some surreal moments, like when somebody covered one of our songs on YouTube with his own guitar. It was like just so surreal, because back then we were like, oh wow, let's cover this song and let's do that, and then suddenly some other dude from somewhere in the world does the same with our music. So that was very surreal somehow.
Yeah. And it happened so fast. So everything came so quickly after another. I mean, it's still not long ago. It's just 7 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's something that I really like about you guys. Of course, the music, but there's another thing, which is that you guys have fun with what you're doing, and we as fans, we can see it, and that is something that I really like when listening to bands and when watching videos. I love that, and that is something that we can hear on the album too, believe it or not. But when you play the record, you guys are having fun while playing and while doing your stuff. So yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, the German word for it is Spielfreude.
Exactly.
So, and we heard that a lot of times. That several reviewers said that the album sounds fresh and not like we had fun doing it. You can hear the Spielfreude. I read it a lot of times, yes, and yeah, great to hear that. Great it comes through. It's true. It is definitely true.
Definitely. So that's.
In the videos, it's maybe we try to have fun, but we also try to make the videos also fun to watch, but we don't want to be like clowns or something. That's not what we want to do. I think it's a thin line, between being funny and being a clown,
Mm-hmm.
or having fun and presenting the energy. And it's a thin line. I cannot describe it better. You know what I mean? And I think we really nailed that. For my own, I'm really touchy about that. But I think we really nailed it. I can watch the videos and I still think it's great. So, and a big part of the video is also live performances. I think that's really, really necessary in music videos to see the band, play, and that makes you want to go to the concerts and everything, I think. So at least for me.
And we do have a lot of fun playing live. That is really, I think for me personally, the best thing of being in a band, to play live, to feel that energy, to give some energy, but also to get a lot of energy back. So I think this is the best moments that you have in being in a band, I think.
That's awesome.
And also the rock and roll attitude that you can live, while playing live, because it's live, so anything can happen, and if it happens, well, go with it, go with the flow. I mean, we had crazy shit happen while we played, and we always played on, so yeah. I really miss that now. Yeah. it's too long ago since we played live.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think that you guys have planned, well, let's hope that it can happen. I think you guys have planned a release show with Liquid Steel sometime in December, because that was, of course, postponed, I understand.
Yes, 2 times. Yeah. Okay. I think 2 times. It was postponed to the second time already. It should have been around now, but we postponed it to December. And we have some other gigs coming up in Austria. Like we start small, let's see how it goes. We had a lot of stuff coming up, but which got delayed again or cancelled. So we're a little bit now. We're looking forward to the gigs, but we don't want to lean into it too much because everything gets cancelled and then it's really sad and everything, you know. So like, okay, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, what can we do about it? You know, nothing.
Absolutely, we will see. Of course, you got to be cautious, but I think you can say that we're looking forward to play live. So let's hope for the best and see how it works out.
Exactly. Yeah, you've just said something that, I think that would be interesting. You've said that there's been some crazy shit going on during some live gigs. Can you tell me some funny stories?
I remember a good story when we played the biggest festival in Austria, the Donauinselfest in Vienna, and we were playing on that stage, on an open air stage, and I knew that drum riser was too small. You know, I told them before, and they were like, "No, it's okay. Everybody plays on that drum riser." And I said, "Yeah, but I got a big kit, you know, a big drum kit, not like a small pop kit or big heavy metal kit, and there's not enough space there." And they were, "Oh, yeah, it's okay." And they didn't put a mat on it, so everything was really slippery. And we played through the show. I think halfway through the show, one of my cymbal stands with the China just flew off, you know, like on the right, like crashing down behind the stage, and somehow it managed to the cymbal managed to hack right into the power cables of the whole stage.
Okay.
And also unfortunately this was also the power cable for the next two stages, and also for all the beer and food stands. So with one hit on the drum, you know, everything went full blackout, and there was no music anymore. Also the next, I think there's 10 or 20 stages, but the next 3 stages also had no music, no lights. Everything was blackout. There was no food. There was no beer. So everybody was really pissed, and we just waited on stage until they got it fixed, you know. So, and what we would do, we would perform like without sound, you know. We just mimicked, you know, like we were playing.
Yeah, actually, we stood there and people were screaming at us, and we know it. We can't produce any sound. It's not working.
Yeah, but I still have the video footage where we jump around, where Valentin jumps around and pretends to play solos and stuff. You know?
Yeah, you gotta do something, right?
Yeah, and people were screaming and shouting, and they really liked it, and we carried on with that until maybe 10 minutes later the sound and the lights came back on, and we finished the set. So it's rock and roll, you know. Anything can happen, and I think that's the little bit you can't take the danger out of this music, you know, and you shouldn't, I think, because if you take the danger out of rock and roll, then or of heavy metal, then it becomes something else, I think, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And we had guitars broken on stage. We had a guitarist falling into his amplifier because he had a little too much beer. So we had a lot of stories. So if we meet in Spain someday, we can tell you all of our stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It would be great to come to Spain someday. This is something we really want to do. So
yeah,
I hope this works out as soon as possible.
That would be great. That would be great.
We should have a cerveza or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you guys are part of something called the Austrian Heavy Metal Alliance. What can you tell me about that? Because I'm more familiar with the extreme metal scene in Austria, with bands like, for example, Summoning or Belphegor or Abigor. But I'm not so familiar, well, of course, Pungent Stench, but I'm not so familiar with the heavy metal scene. Of course, I know you guys, I know Venator, I know Wild Hunt, but I know there's a lot of new bands like Triumphant, Transylvania. What can you tell me about the scene in your country and about this Austrian Heavy Metal Alliance?
Yeah, I think it's still very small. The classic heavy metal scene is very small in Austria still. I mean, when we started, we searched everywhere, but we couldn't find any other bands that were doing what we are doing, and it has become much better. And as you said, Venator, bands like Künring are really great. Liquid Steel are good friends of us. I think they're doing great. They do great music. And the Austrian Heavy Metal Alliance was, I think, really came to life by the guys of High Healer of Vienna. They had the idea, and they also put out 2 samples and of the alliance, and with all the bands and everything. It has become a little bit I don't know, silent about it in the last year maybe. But let's see what happens. There's always somebody who of the bands, they put up shows and for the other bands, and it's kind of band works for the bands, like that kind of thing, and everybody knows each other very well. And when we play in Vienna, mostly all the other bands come to the shows, and we try to do that too. And it's a big friendship, not as much like an organization or something. It's like more big bunch of friends. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that the main output of the AMA were the 2 splits that Mano already mentioned. So, and we were on both of the split records. We were on the first one, which was just called Austrian Heavy Metal Alliance, and then on the second one, which was called Power Sword. So, and you will also find bands like Liquid Steel and High Healer and Künring on those split records. So, go check them out. I think there are not that many bands, but those few that exist are very passionate about what they're doing. They really love old school heavy metal, and I think you can really hear that. So, yeah. It's not quantity, it's more like a quality thing, I guess.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes, so I don't know if there is anything else that you would like to tell your Spanish fans, or maybe there's some other music that you would like to recommend. I haven't been surprised. Well, okay, yeah, I'm lying. I got surprised by Leather Leone on the last interview because she made a strange music recommendation. She said something about Justin Bieber. I still don't know if that was a joke or she was serious, because she even danced a little bit. So yeah, if you guys want to recommend some music, it doesn't have to be from Austria, or maybe it can be from Austria. It can be metal, rock, jazz, whatever. Something that you guys have been listening to lately and that you think that people should listen to it more.
I think there's a really good band from Spain that I really like. I don't know if they are still that active. I think so. I think they have 2 albums out. I don't really know exactly, but they're called Witch Tower.
Oh, good friends of mine.
Really?
Really good friends of mine.
I love the band from the first tune when it came out, the first album. I think it was the first album. I heard the second one, I think. I don't know if there's a third one. I don't really know, but yes. I know 2 albums and they're really good. And I even have a poster here, a little one. So I can really recommend Witch Tower.
Yeah, the third.
And I would really love to come to Spain one day and see a live concert of these guys. And otherwise, I can really recommend everybody who likes classic heavy metal, in that style of classic 80s heavy metal or else, but contemporary bands, that you go to the new wave of new wave of traditional heavy metal full albums channel on YouTube. The guy who does it is so great. It's you just can support the scene just going there and listening to all these bands, that putting albums out there. maybe it's not everything is like great, or not everything is what you would like, but you can find really great gems on there, and everything is like from 1 year ago. It's like he's putting out album after album after album after album, and I have the feeling that on that channel, the classic heavy metal scene is where it's really happening right now. It's really reforming there on the internet and on that channel. I think there's something happening there, so I can recommend just going there and listening to all those bands.
There's tons of stuff right there. And as I said, Witch Tower are good friends of mine, and Victor listens to the show pretty much every week, so he's going to watch this video for sure. He'll be happy. He'll be happy to know that, because I know he likes what you guys are doing.
Oh, great! Would be great to meet the guy someday.
For me, if I can add some music as well, I would. I'm still into the Canadian scene, so you will find me there. So my favorite bands right now are Striker and Cauldron, also Skullfist. So I would. I can really recommend the Canadian rock scene, I guess.
Great bands in Canada. It's amazing. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Okay, so it was a huge pleasure having you here today, and well, I wish you the best. I really wish you the best. I hope you guys can, play your release show finally. I hope to see you guys soon on the road, maybe in Spain, maybe with Witch Tower. That would be a great gig. That would be fantastic.
Yeah. We really thank you so much, and we try to make it happen. Really, let's see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we have some luck. We will press the thumbs. As we
all
say
fingers
here.
Crossed, right?
All fingers crossed. And if we can make that happen, it would be a great year. What else do we want? Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the great interview. It really stood out because you don't ask the same questions like all the others. I think it's really good. It's really cool, and yeah. Let's hope for the best.
Okay, so thanks a lot, and take care.
Rock on.
Thanks, you too. Have a good one.